Some of you never felt love your entire life. Some of you, I'm going to say that again, some of you have never felt what true unconditional love is your entire life because conditions were put on you. You felt unacknowledged, you felt unimportant, you were shamed, you were belittled, and you grew up feeling very disconnected from who you are, withholding and denying yourself love because when it's demonstrated to you in a conditional way, you will actually believe it's safe to hold what true love is at a distance because letting it in wasn't safe for you. Things went wrong. There was panic. There was punishment for being yourself. When you're yourself, okay, I want you to hear this. When you are your full self, love is there. Because in your core root of every single person here, there is love. But right, what's in the way of that? Hi everyone, I'm Sarah Evangeline. I'm really excited to be here today. And just I feel like there's a message coming through for someone, so just tune in, stick with me. Um, what a gift it is to be here with you guys. I It is a winter wonderland where I am. I live on the beach right on the coast of between Canada and the USA. I'm on the Canadian side. I can see the lake from my sunroom and my couch, and I'm just soaking up the magic that is here. And, I was reflecting on it was such an up level of a decision within myself to believe in my own worthiness that I deserve a place like this. I was getting visions of this place just the desire, the heart opening of, okay, I want to live by water. I want to live on the beach. And I started having this knowing within myself, like, yeah, that's where I'm headed to next. This was like 7, 8 months ago. And I started telling people because I was just really excited for it. I started telling my family members. And what did some of my family members say? Especially my mom. No, Sarah, you can't have that. Sarah, that's impossible. And, you know, I'm getting ready to teach Mother Wounds Uprooted. It's a 6 week course, it's a 7 week journey fully. I'm giving 7 weeks access to it. It's going to be such a potent healing experience because, you know, when you interact with that, how many times were you belittled for just your expression? Now I'm an adult, now I can speak for myself. I've done a lot of healing where, I know that if someone else puts me down, that doesn't dictate my worth anymore. But, you know, sometimes though, when that happens, it's like, okay, right, I grew up in this. I'd step out in who I am, and then I was shamed for it, or I was told, you can't do that, you can't do that. Um, Something about me is I was diagnosed with a learning disability in grade 3. Now, with all the studying I've done about trauma, teaching it to so many people, I don't believe I had a learning disability. I believe that I was stuck in a trauma response and it was hard for me to focus because my body was still stuck in panic. And that's what so many people struggle with, is actually their body stuck in a trauma response and no one has taught them how to regulate and get out of it, so that they can't focus. They struggle with common sense things, all of the things. um but anyways, I've been unlearning a lot, right? Like, becoming who you are is actually unlearning the masks and the filters that you've put on as a protective layer. And I want to just remind you that if there's anyone here who's really wanting to heal the mother wounds or even the father wounds, you know, it's about opening your heart again. It's safe to open your heart. It's safe to say, okay, what is my heart desiring? And I'm going to give that to myself. Um, so often we struggle with receiving. I just want to talk about that for a minute. You struggle with receiving because you had to give so much of yourself away to be loved by someone who was supposed to nurture you and be there for you fully. I am so grateful that we are coming into more awareness of how important emotions are. But a lot of our parents' generation, you didn't talk about things. They were silenced. And so I want to just emphasize this, that we are doing this work out of love for our moms. And yes, some of you might be angry, some of you might have resentment, but at the core root of it, hi Samantha, hi John, I'm so glad you're here. Hi Neil. At the core root of this, guys, every little child wants their mom to see them and hear them and validate them. And so we're doing this out of love. It's just, are you holding yourself back in efforts to still save your mom? If you had to give something up of yourself in order to have your needs met as a child, and what I mean by that is you suppressed your pain because you saw your mom in pain and you didn't want to burden her. Maybe your mom put a lot of weight on you unintentionally, but like you always knew that she was struggling with bills. You would have you would have given up your expression, what you needed to say because you saw her struggling. Okay, children are so full of light and love and imagination and curiosity, and they are also so smart. And they pick up on, just watch a child, they will pick up on what's demonstrated in the room. They are looking up when you were a child, and children in general, they are so innocent, they are so pure, they are looking up to mom and dad to be the exact example of what love is. And so you internalize what is demonstrated to you, even if it's an unhealthy conditional version of love. I'll say this lovingly, but with also the bluntness of parents who will talk openly about bills not being paid, and you hear those conversations, like that's damaging. That's already teaching you to fear something that you don't even need to be worrying about, that you shouldn't have to be worrying about. Your parents giving you a roof over your head is the bare minimum. Okay? Some of you guys make excuses because it's like, okay, well, they paid for me to live. Yes. Yes. Okay, I say that with love. I know that parents struggle. I know that it's a normal thing to sometimes struggle. Okay, but we're going deeper than the surface level here, okay? Because you need some validation. You need to be heard. You need to be safe. And what that puts is a huge weight on the child of, oh my gosh, I've got to deny myself this. And it escalates. And, um, you know, that's where like people pleasing can be born. Addictions can be born. It's something as simple as, mom coming into the room and telling their child all the things that they're worried about. I honestly had to tell my mom, like, Mom, I'm your daughter. I'm not your coach. I'm not your friend. There are certain things about what happened to you that I care about, but you can't tell me this. It's not for my ears to hear, because this is like the biggest thing is you need to go to your mom to be able to share your heart. But if our moms didn't know emotional regulation for themselves, so often our moms looked to us to fill the void within them. And that becomes an entanglement of unworthiness, feeling unlovable, feeling not good enough. No, 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 Desiree, Desiree, Desiree. This is not to shame. This is not to shame, okay? Please don't. You haven't messed up, okay? Desiree, you are such an amazing mom. Okay, we don't know until we know. And that's why I'm going to just highlight this for you and any other moms or dads that are here that are watching. This is not to shame or judge. This is to bring awareness. This is actually to bring compassion. You if you're struggling with that, if you're saying, oh, I've messed up, okay, that's actually a sign that you need to be loved and seen and heard. Okay, what do you need? What emotional needs do you need to fill within yourself? Okay, that's all that is. Desiree, you wanting to be here? We've chatted a little bit, like that's evidence that you want better for yourself. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. The most incredible thing a mom can do, is to become happy within herself, fulfilled within herself, because then you can actually truly nurture. There is no perfect parent. There is no perfect parent. Okay? We are not here to shame moms. We are here to bring awareness to the though that the mother wounds run really deep. We all have mother wounds. Okay? We all have mother wounds. Unless you were raised to be a monk on the hill and you learned emotional regulation from day one, which in North America most of us did not, and probably 99.9% of us did not know how to do. We have mother wounds. And it all trickles back to, were your emotions safe growing up? And if they weren't, okay, where you are is perfect. Where you are is exactly where you need to be, and the next step is yours. What do you want next for your life? There's old versions of yourself that need to be free. There's old versions of yourself that need to really be looked at and loved. It's not about denying those versions of us that did the things just to get by, maybe made mistakes. Maybe you're judging yourself. Okay? The Mother Wounds course, you're going to learn how to release judgment. Okay, if you grew up with a very critical mother, nothing you did was right, she criticized herself, she criticized her body, you most likely have a voice within your head of inner judgment towards yourself. That's not even your voice. That was passed onto you, that was placed onto you. I want you to know what your voice is. Okay, so it's huge, but you're not actually judging these past versions, you're bringing them with you. Huge difference. Huge difference. Um, I sense that the people that are feeling the pull towards Mother Wounds Uprooted, by the way, go join. If you join by Friday, I'm giving away a free VIP session with me, one-on-one, worth over $200, and it's 90 minutes. It's going to that's like a bonus that I'm giving for free if you join by Friday. So even if you select a payment plan, you just need to sign up with one of the payment plans. I'm giving that away, and I'm so excited for the ones who are picking that. So go check that link out. I'll put it in the comments. Message me if you have any questions. But what I'm sensing is the people that are feeling a pull to actually face their mother wounds, because, right, we need to face it in order to transmute it. You are closing big cycles. You are closing big cycles. Amazing. You are so brave. Um, we honor our moms by doing this work. We really, really do. They gave us the best they could, no matter what kind of situation it was. They did the best they could. And so if you're needing to relearn love, if you've got scarcity wounds, money blocks, feeling unlovable, all of that, that was given to you by your mom, that mom ahead of her ahead of her, ahead of her, like 2 generations ago, those women didn't know how to speak up about sexual abuse. Okay? That impacts you today because what's trickled down in your DNA is, I have to be silenced. And there's so many of you that are going, no, 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 my voice gets to be heard. This is like deep cleansing, and there's so much I want to share because, if you know the work I do, it's not just mindset work, okay? If you're just trying to heal through mindset, you're going to keep the cycle going because the trauma actually lives in your body. And when you work with me, including the Mother Wounds Uprooted, you're moving into completion. So, if you're stuck still in a trauma response like I was for a really, really long time, not even knowing it, you need the body work as well because, can I just say this boldly? Okay? There is life after the trauma. This is why I don't work in a psychology office. This is why I don't work in a therapy office. Okay? I have my master's in therapy. I could go and work at a counseling office. I choose not to. And I want you to know this. because they teach you coping mechanisms and that's it. Okay, that's important. I needed therapy at one point. There are amazing therapists out there. You want to just make sure that you can trust and feel safe with the person, and you will get that next step. Therapy is a beautiful step. I needed therapy. I am so grateful for the first therapist that I received. She was amazing. She helped me actually feel my emotions instead of staying numb to them. But why I bring this up is because what that teaches people, though, is you only get coping mechanisms and your trauma lasts the rest of your life. You're always going to be triggered. You're always going to have this haunting thing come up once in a while. That is not true. Okay? Sure, healing trauma is not going to be an overnight thing. Okay? Something very complex happened to you. It's an entanglement, usually rooted into your mother wounds, which is why we're doing Mother Wounds Uprooted, because you're going to untangle so much of this at the root level. I'm not here to give you a band-aid solution. You deserve so much better. But this is the thing, is we've been lied to that, okay, I just need to get by, just get by, just get by. There is life beyond what happened to you. It is so possible for you to live on the other side of this pain, where trauma, yeah, it happened to you. Yeah, we need to, bring those old versions of us. We need to love our inner child and reparent our inner child. It's a whole journey. And I'm not going to say but, and you get to give yourself a life on the other side of this trauma free. That's why I'm here. I'm living proof of it. Yes, I'm still walking with you guys in the sense of I will be rebuilding love for the rest of my life. I'm learning to receive a healthy relationship, and that's a whole thing I'm navigating. But I keep, there's this message that I keep getting of like, just allow peace in, just allow love in. Like, that's going to be the rest of your life. And I want to share that with you, okay? No matter where you are right now in your healing journey, keep taking that next step forward, because the suffering was passed down to you, but it is not all of you, and it is not the rest of your story. You are here to step fully into love. You are here to fully step out of any suffering that was passed down to you. And it's a sacred responsibility. When you come into my containers, whether it's working with me one-on-one or one of my courses, it is the most sacred work you will ever do for yourself, because what you're doing is you're initiating this. Yeah, there's going to be a story. I'm going to rebirth. I am going to step into a place where trauma doesn't even get to touch me anymore. It's fully in the past. I can fully release it. And I also know how scary that can be to step into the unknown. Which is why I want you to know, like, if you need support, you're not supposed to do this alone. I definitely couldn't do it alone in the first few years of doing this sacred work. But yeah, you wanna look at, okay, how are you? How I'm seeing you, Desiree. I love you. So glad you're here. Um, this is a sacred walk back to trusting yourself. Okay, if you have mother wounds, if you're struggling with trauma responses still, what that shows is you don't know how to trust yourself. And of course you don't, okay? That needs to be validated. Of course you don't know how to trust yourself. We weren't taught to trust ourselves. We were actually taught, most of us, to fear ourselves. Gotta cover up. Gotta cover up to be safe. What if I were to tell you that a lot of our definitions of safety was actually just survival? And again, this is what it means to move beyond the pain, move beyond life, beyond the trauma, is that we are redefining safety. Safety is you being your fullest expression without any covering up, without protecting yourself, without chasing that validation from that one person that gives you like that temporary high, right? No, 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 no. Like, safety is I am so secure in who I am. I can walk into any room and know I belong, and I can also exit the room just as fast if someone's belittling me because I see my value. I see my worth. And that's what this invitation is to the mother wounds uprooted is some of you are holding yourself back because you are waiting for your mom to see you and hear you and validate you, which is it's so that's okay. That's normal. And also, this is a call to rise up in you seeing you, you valuing you. Okay, my mom was incapable. My mom was incapable. She didn't know how. She was loving from the place that was given to her. And now here I am, and I'm saying I, but I'm meaning you, okay? You get to go, but I want more than the bare minimum. I'm ready for more than the bare minimum. I'm ready for a life where I wake up and I'm fulfilled and I go to bed knowing my purpose is within me. Every single day gets to be full of love. And this is not this wishy-washy, oh, just love yourself. No, I know that we go through human challenges, okay? We're not bypassing this. This is the sacredness of my work. In order to rebuild love, you actually need to face all the pain within you, which so many people will avoid. If you have a passion you want to live out, if you have something you want to create in this world, a business idea, or you just simply want to show up better for your family, okay, whatever it is, you need the sacred work and the support of turning inward and knowing how to face your pain in a supportive way. Like there's a way to do it where it can actually be harmful. It's not about digging up your past. It's not about digging up emotions. It's not about forcing. It's about, okay, what's showing up right now? Maybe there's loneliness. Maybe there's fear. Maybe there's self-abandonment. Maybe there's betrayal, judgment, whatever it is, the inner critic, right? You need to actually look at what that's teaching you, what that's showing you, and learn how to transmute that. That is how we rebuild love. The love I have for myself is so deep. It is not this surface level love. It's not this roller coaster of emotions when something bad happens. It is this core, sacred, anchoring groundedness that I have within myself because I've learned to face all the things that felt like hell within me. I will say very often it's like I've been to hell and back because I used to, there was a time in my life I wrote a book and I wasn't walking the talk. I didn't even know that was a thing, right? So many of us grew up with leaders that taught us things, but they weren't walking the talk. I was one of them. I went to church. I was the good girl. I did everything I was supposed to do on that list of things they tell you to be happy. I was miserable. But I wrote a book and I looked so good on the outside. I was a master at performing. Performance is a disease in North America. People are dying alone behind closed doors because they've learned that performance is the way to love, but performance is the way to actually hold yourself back from your true self and all that you're here to create. So I wrote this book and everything started to crumble. And I couldn't leave my house for months. It was like every insecurity came up. I couldn't even look at myself in the mirror. It was like this dark cloud finally came up, and I had a choice to either go, will this be the rest of my life? Or am I going to tap into that part of me that's like, no, 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 no. I want on the other side of this. Like, even through the darkness, even through hell, you guys will feel a small glimpse of you're made for more. Can you just trust that? Even if it's just a little bit, it's safe to trust that part of you. I'm here to tell you that, okay? It's safe to trust that tiny bit of you, even if 90% of you is still full of fear. Okay, that part of you that's like this, just like a little glimmer of trust and hope. If you start trusting that, even if it's just 5%, 10%, you're going to take the fear with you. You're going to take those past versions of you that are still really scared. Okay? It's amazing when you start trusting yourself. It's not about waiting until you fully get it, until you fully are ready. It's about, okay, yeah, I feel that little glimpse inside of me. That's the part of me that knows. That's the part of me that actually knows what that love is safe and that to be my fullest self is safe. Hi, Dawn. I'm so glad you're doing shadow work. I love that. Yeah. You only lived with her for 3 years. Like that's a weight, Dawn. Yeah, thank you for sharing. Thank you for being brave and showing up here. Um, you want to look at those pieces of what is that showing you, you know? What's coming up for you right now? What emotions? Emotions are not bad. Every single emotion is teaching you something about what needs to be loved within you. That's all I'll say there. I want you to know your own voice. I want you to wake up knowing that you have a purpose and that it's safe to actually fully live it out. So many of you are like, oh, I'll wait. I'll wait on my dreams. I'll wait. No, later. No. Okay? If you're feeling the pull, now is the time to learn to trust yourself. Now is the time to speak up. What was held in suppression needs to be expressed so that you can actually move on with your life. So many people will leave the abusive relationship, but they don't know how to actually leave the patterns that it gave them. Okay, I teach you how to actually untangle the trauma patterns at the root so you don't live in that constant chaos. You don't live in the emotional roller coasters of spiraling and you're like, wait, I was good for 3 weeks and now I have anxiety all over again. And it feels like I'm like, no, what's happening is you're living in a trauma pattern. So many people can leave an abusive, narcissistic relationship, but there's patterns that we carry that need to actually be untangled. And same with the mother wounds. Okay. Some of you, you were adopted. You never even knew your mom, but there's something there. Okay. There's something of abandonment sitting there, some sort of fear. We want to actually untangle the root of that pattern so that you live in this pure love energy and you can be your fullest expression. It will change your relationships. It will change the way that you wake up and see yourself. It will change how you trust your decisions. It will change your bank account. It will change how you want to treat your kids. It changes everything. This is the work. This is the sacred craving, like key step is looking at the mother wounds. So there's so much more I want to say, but if you're feeling a pull to this, come join me inside Mother Wounds Uprooted. It's going to be a full, it's 6 weeks of material, but 7 weeks access to me. You're going to have so much support. We are going to be uprooting every single wound that is tied to the mother wounds so that you can fully embrace your life, move beyond the trauma. If you sign up by Friday, I'm giving a bonus VIP call, 90 minutes just one-on-one. That's amazing value. I want to be able to give that. I'm so excited. And, it's safe to trust this part of you. I promise you. It's safe to lean in and say yes. It's safe, to bring the fear with you. Don't let the fear dictate you. There's a huge difference in that. And if you're interested, but you need a discovery call, a consult call before you sign up, there's payment plans options. If you have any questions, send me a message. You can absolutely have a free consult call to ask any questions to make sure this is what you need. And I would love, love, love to hold you in safe space. Okay, this is your time to be valued. This is your time to be seen. This is your time to be heard. This is your time to rise up in your worthiness, to have authentic confidence instead of pretending and barely getting by. We are turning the tables. Okay, when you heal your mother wounds, you are turning the tables for the next generation. We are stepping out of this conditional, shameful, judging way of living, and we're carving this new path of safety, love, acceptance, value, fulfilling our dreams, and everything in between. You deserve a life where you're in overflow of abundance, where you're not just scraping by. You deserve a life where you can enter every room knowing that you're worthy to take up space. And so many of you want to help other people. So many of you have a big heart and you want to help other people. But will you put yourself first? I will tell you, if you don't do the foundational work within yourself, it will crumble. It crumbled for me. So many people are building on a false safety of, okay, I'll keep bypassing my needs and I'll build this empire over here, but nothing's integrated. They feel shame every single day. They hate themselves. They reject themselves. But on the outside, this is not an outside game. If you want just an outside fix, I'm not the coach for you. But if you're someone who's like, wow, I want to feel this love within myself and build a secure foundation for a soul-led legacy, and I want to impact people, I want to help people, you get to have both. Okay? You get to start to rebuild love within yourself and help people. Okay, I want to know what's on your heart. What do you want to create in this lifetime? It's safe to have both. You deserve both. And you just have to start to see yourself and value yourself. And you're going to be able to help so many more people. We've been taught a backwards way of compassion. Okay, I'll give to others. I'll give to others and I just get the leftovers. No, you start to give yourself this kind of safety and and you get to help others. You get to have both. So what is your heart desiring next? It is safe to trust yourself. Healing the mother wounds is about opening your heart again, that it's safe to let those desires in, taking down the protective walls. And again, if you want support, Mother Wounds Uprooted, it's going to be amazing. I'm so excited for you. Feel free to message me and share what's going on in your heart. I'm sending you all love, and I'll see you guys really soon.